Hello, Jay here. Welcome to Beginning Guitar Chapter 3. Okay, today we're going to learn D major and D minor in open position. Let's go ahead and start with D major. Okay, for your D major, you're going to have your index finger on the 2nd fret on the 3rd string, ring finger's on the 3rd fret 2nd string, and then middle finger is on your 2nd fret 1st string. And then you can go ahead and strum it, incorporate your 5th, 4th open string, but just try to avoid your low 6th string so that you don't get your big E, making that chord muddy. E isn't part of the chord too, so just try to target the 5 higher strings if possible. Or use your thumb over the top of the guitar to mute that low string. Then you can just lay into it and go ahead and strum away. Okay, for your D minor, we're going to have our 1st finger on the 1st fret on the 1st string. Ring finger is on the 3rd fret 2nd string. Middle finger is on the 2nd fret 3rd string. Okay, now the way to play your D minor would be just substitute your pinky where your ring was. And that's a nice way to play it too. This chapter's strum pattern is going to have a combination of quarter notes and eighth notes. We're going to have quarter notes on the first 2 beats and then eighth notes on beats 3 and 4. When you see a box without a bottom, that's a down strum, and an arrow pointing down is an up strum. So for your quarter notes, just go ahead and do a down strum for each of those beats, and then for your eighth notes, we'll do a down up on each of those, and we'll count our eighth notes like this: 3 and 4 and. And your quarter notes are just counting right on the down beat, so that would just be on beats 1 and 2. Okay, now here's the pattern without a chord. 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm just keeping that resting point on my guitar and just letting my kind of right hand do a continuous strum, and I'm just making contact when I want to. Okay, I'll just be playing each of these one time, but I recommend repeat them all 4 to 8 times and try out your different tempos, slow, medium, and fast. Okay, grab your D major chord and let's go 4 bars for number 1. 1, 2, 3 and 4 and. Okay, for number 2, we're going to go 4 bars with D minor. 1, 2, 3 and 4 and. A little faster. 1, 2, 3 and 4 and. Okay, for number 3, we're going to have an 8-bar progression. We'll go 4 bars of D major into 4 bars of D minor. 1, 2, 3 and 4 and. Okay, for your chords, I recommend keep some pressure on the back of the neck. You can also have your thumb up on top of the neck for a pressure, like a counter pressure too. So check out some of those different ones, but that thumb is good to be incorporated nonetheless. Okay, for number 4, we're going to go 2 bars of D major into 2 bars of D minor. 1, 2, 3 and 4 and. Number 5, we're going to go 1 bar of D major into 1 bar of D minor. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and... Okay, for the next numbers, we're going to incorporate some new rhythms and some rhythms we've talked about and bring back some chords from previous chapters. Number 6, we're going to have an 8-bar progression. We're going to start off with an E major for the first 2 bars, normal pattern. Then we'll have our A minor chord for 2 bars. We're going to switch to a D major chord for bars 6 and 7, and then we'll go to an A major for bars 7 and 8, and we'll have a whole note for the last bar. And on bar 8, that chord will last for 4 beats. Okay, here's your E major chord. For your E major, just have your open 6th string, middle fingers on the 2nd fret 5th string, ring fingers on the 2nd fret 4th string, index is on the 1st fret 3rd string, and then open first 2 strings. For your A minor, just pivot a set of strings towards your feet. Now my middle finger is on the 2nd fret 4th string, ring fingers on the 2nd fret 3rd string, index is on the 1st fret on your 2nd string. Okay, for your A major, I'm just going to be doing the stack. So I've got my index finger on the 2nd fret 4th string, middle fingers on the 2nd fret 3rd string, ring fingers on the 2nd fret 2nd string. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and... Okay, for number 7, we're going to introduce a new rest. There's going to be a quarter note rest, and when you see the squiggle on that bar 3 on the first beat, that is a quarter note rest, and just as a quarter note lasts for 1 beat, a quarter note rest means that we'll rest for just 1 beat. Okay, for number 7, we're going to start off with an E minor. We'll have normal pattern on bar 1. On bar 2, we're going to do a half note for the first 2 beats. That's a chord lasting for 2 beats. We'll have 8th notes for beats 3 and 4 on that bar. Now on bar 3, we're going to have a quarter note rest for the first beat, so you could just have your chord ready and just use your right hand to mute the strings, and then we're going to resume our pattern with a quarter note and 2 beats of 8th notes to fill out that bar. For your E minor, it's basically your E major chord without your index finger, so I just have my middle finger on the 2nd fret 5th string and ring fingers on the 2nd fret 4th string. Everything else is open. Okay, I'm going to play number 7 2 times. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 2, rest, repeat, 2, rest. Okay, for number 8, we're going to have another 8-bar progression. We're going to start off with D major, normal pattern on bar 1. And then we're going to switch it to A minor on bar 2, and we're just going to play 4 quarter notes, just down strums for those. On bar 3, we'll have a whole note rest, means we won't play anything for 4 beats. We'll go to an E major chord with normal pattern on bar 4. Switch it to an E minor chord on bar 5, and we'll have a whole note. And then we'll go to all 8th notes on bar 6. You could do down ups for those. Now on bar 7, we're gonna switch it to a D minor, and there's gonna be a quarter note on beat 1, quarter note rest on beat 2, quarter note on beat 3, and a quarter note rest on beat 4. Switch it to an A major for the last bar with 2 quarter notes and then a half note rest where we won't play anything for the last 2 beats. Okay, here comes number 8. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and... rest, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Rest, 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 rest. Here's number 8 a little faster. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and rest, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Rest, 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 rest. For this chapter, we're going to do the D major pentatonic and the D minor pentatonic scale. As we've been talking about, pentatonics grab 5 notes from scales, and the major pentatonics going to grab the 5 notes from a major scale, and it's going to be the 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6. Okay, our notes for D major pentatonic is a D, E, F sharp, A, and a B. And let's go ahead and start off with number 1A with our open D string, that's the 4th string. Then we're going to go 2 to 4 on the same string. You could use your index finger for all your notes, or try to incorporate some other fingers. You might see me using my ring and middle, depending. On this 3rd string, we'll just go to the 2nd fret. And then on the 2nd string, open to 3. Now that last note is a D, so that's 1 octave. When we come back down, we'll go 3 to open, 2nd string, 2nd fret, 3rd string, and then 4 to open on the 4th string. Okay, here's that scale up and down. Again, using my thumb for some pressure on the back of the neck to produce those notes. And remember, take these as slow as you need to go. Okay, for number 1B, we're going to play the same scale, but we'll hit each of these 2 times, and that'll sound like 8th notes. 3 and 4 and. Okay, for number 1C, we're going to take the scale up 2 octaves, so let's play it the way we've already played it. Open 2, 4 on the 4th string, 2nd fret, 3rd string, open 3 on the 2nd string. Okay, now we're going to climb up the 1st string. We're going to go open 2, 5 to 7, and then up to 10. And that's the note D, that's your 2nd octave. Coming back down, 10 to 7, 5 to 2, open, 3 open, 2nd string, 2nd fret, 3rd string, and then 4 to open, 4th string. Okay, here's that scale up and down. Okay, for number 2, we're going to look at the D minor pentatonic scale. This scale is going to have the notes D, F, G, A, C, and a D. And we're grabbing 5 notes from our minor scale for this one, and those notes are the 1, flat 3, 4, 5, and flat 7. Okay, let's go ahead and play 1 on each note. That's going to be open 3 on your 4th string. I'm using my middle finger for that 2nd note. Open 2 on the 3rd string, and then 1 to 3 on the 2nd string. Coming back down, 3 to 1, 2 open 3rd string, and then 3 open 4th string. Okay, here's that scale up and down. Okay, let's do 2 on each note for number 2B. 3 and 4 and. Okay, for number 2C, we're going to take that scale up 2 octaves. So let's do what we've already done. Open 3, 4th string. Open 2, 3rd string. 1 to 3, 2nd string. Okay, now on your 1st string, we're going to go 1, 3, 5. And then 8 to 10. Ending on that note D, that's the 2nd octave. Coming back down, 10 to 8. 5, 3, 1. 2nd string, 3 to 1. 3rd string, 2nd to open. And then 3 open on the 4th string. Here's that scale up and down. Coming back down. Okay, now I've been introducing some improvisation and jamming concepts, so let's go ahead and strum a little bit with the D major chord, just to kind of get to know a little bit. You could strum any rhythms you like. I'm just going to do some strumming. If you want to try some up strums, have at it. Long chords, quicker strumming. Okay, now I'm going to do the same thing with the D minor chord. I'm just sort of having some fun with it. Okay, now now we can also improvise with our scales. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and improvise with my D major pentatonic scale, and I'm going to start off by strumming some D major chord, and then I'll go into some scales. Some D major chord, and then some scale. Back to some chords. A little more scale. Okay, now I'm going to do the same concept with D minor. I'm going to play some D minor chord and then jam on some D minor pentatonic. Some D minor chord. And some scale. Back to some chords. And some more scale. Okay, for this chapter study, we're going to talk about tempo. Tempo is basically slow, medium, fast. How fast is the beat in a song? So you could think of it like the speed or pace of the beat in music and the spectrum of slow to fast. Okay, now for number one, we're just going to strum quarter notes on an E major chord, and we're going to do it at a slower tempo. Now, these are also marked by certain beats. So if you have a metronome, you could sort of hear if I'm playing something between 40 and 70 beats, let's say at 60, it'd be considered kind of in our slower tempo. So I'm just going to try it at 60 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, for number two, we're going to go into medium tempo. Medium tempo can be between 70 and 120 beats a minute. Okay, I'm going to strum some quarter notes at 100 beats a minute on an E minor. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, for number three, we're going to go into fast tempo. Now, 120 beats and higher is basically considered faster tempo. So I'm going to have my click at 130, and I'm going to strum some quarter notes on an A major. 1, 2, 3, 4. Number four, you could do all down strums or down and ups. I'm going to do some down strums. These are eighth notes at a slower tempo. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, for number five, we're going to go to D major for 4 bars with eighth notes at a medium tempo. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Here's number 5 with all down picks. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. For number 6, we're going to go 4 bars of eighth notes with the D minor at a fast tempo. Okay, I'm going to do down and ups. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Here's the same with all down strums. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Number 7, we're going to talk about how to slow down. Okay, now ritardando is abbreviated with ritard or R-I-T, rit, and that means to slow down. So for number 7, I'm going to go 4 bars of E major, but once I get to that 3rd bar, I'm going to start to slow down. And these are just all quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Second bar, 2, 3, 4. Third bar, 2, 3, 4. Fourth bar, 2, 3, 4. So I'm basically pulling back my tempo and slowing down. Okay, now for number 8, we're gonna go to E minor with 8th notes, and we'll go 2 bars into a ritardando on the 3rd bar. So I'm gonna start to slow down at that point. Okay, I'm gonna do all down strums for this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. Second bar. Third bar, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. So starting to slow down my tempo. Okay, now the opposite of ritardando is accelerando, or you might see it as excel, and it basically means to speed up. Okay, now for number 9, I'm going to go to an A major, all quarter notes. I'm going to have my tempo for the first 2, and then I'm going to start to excel or accelerando on the 3rd bar. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Second bar, 2, 3, 4. Third bar, 2, 3, 4. Fourth bar, 2, 3, 4. So starting to speed up on that one. Okay, for number 10, we're gonna have an A minor with 8th notes. I'll do down up strumming for it. And we're gonna go first bar normal, and then I'm gonna start to accelerate on the 3rd beat of bar 2. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, for the last one, we're gonna have quarter notes on a D major, and we're gonna include both of these concepts. So I'm gonna have normal quarter notes at my tempo for the first bar, and then I'm gonna have a ritardando on bar 2, right on the first beat, where I'm gonna start to slow down. And then once I get to bar 3 on the 3rd beat, I'm gonna go into accelerando and start to speed up. Here's number 11. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Second bar, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So showing you how we can fluctuate our tempos and using speeding up and slowing down. Thank you so much for watching. I'll look forward to seeing you for chapter 4. Rock on.